Real Madrid officials have reportedly held an in-depth meeting regarding the future of coach Xabi Alonso, following their humiliating 2-0 defeat to Celta Vigo at the Santiago Bernabeu stadium. The defeat was compounded by 2 red cards for Fran Garcia and Alvaro Carreras, leaving Los Blancos playing with a man short at the end of the match. The result leaves Real Madrid further behind Barcelona at the top of La Liga, increasing the pressure on the 44-year-old coach. All eyes are now on this week's Champions League clash against Manchester City, which is seen as a potentially decisive moment for Xabi Alonso's future at the club. 6 weeks ago, Real Madrid were still basking in the euphoria of their resounding El Clasico victory over Barcelona. The victory not only delighted Los Blancos fans but also gave them a significant 5-point lead at the top of La Liga, raising hopes of a title this season. However, that seemingly bright situation quickly turned upside down. All those hopes were dashed when Real Madrid suffered a crushing 2-0 defeat to Celta Vigo at their home ground, the Santiago Bernabeu stadium. This defeat was all the more painful because it was the first time Os Celestes had won on Los Blancos turf in 19 years, making it an unwelcome moment in history for the Spanish giants. Real Madrid's position in the La Liga standings is now under increasing pressure. Los Blancos are now 4 points behind their main rivals, Barcelona, who currently sit at the top. The situation could even get worse. They risk dropping to 3rd place if Villarreal wins their next match. All of this is happening under the guidance of Xabi Alonso, who joined the club this summer after achieving incredible success with Bayer Leverkusen. At the German club, he successfully led the team to their first Bundesliga title in history, even going undefeated throughout the season. However, at Real Madrid, the challenge seems much greater. The 44-year-old himself admitted that the defeat to Celta Vigo was a huge blow for the team and everyone at the club. In a press conference following the defeat to Celta Vigo, Xabi Alonso expressed his team's frustration and annoyance. "We had planned this game very carefully to play at a high tempo, building on the momentum from the previous match against Athletic Bilbao," he said. However, that plan didn't work out as expected. He admitted the team lacked performance in several key areas, and the sudden injury problems further disrupted everything. "This is very bad news, especially because the team was already riddled with injuries before this match," the 44-year-old coach continued. "It's another big blow that caught us by surprise." Alonso also added that the team struggled to react to Celta Vigo's early pressure, and ironically, their best reaction came when they were reduced to 10 men after Fran Garcia was sent off. "We pressed hard, ran tirelessly, and kept fighting until the end," he said. "We understand perfectly well that the fans will go home angry and disappointed. That's why we have to show a completely different face on Wednesday when we face Manchester City in the Champions League." Real Madrid's current dire situation is inextricably linked to the crisis gripping the backline. The club is truly struggling to find healthy options in defense, as several key players remain sidelined in the treatment room. Eder Militao, known as a solid central defender, is still recovering. Likewise, Dani Carvajal, the experienced right back who often provides the backbone of attacks down the right flank. Furthermore, Trent Alexander-Arnold, who just joined this summer in the hope of bolstering the defense and attack, is also yet to return to the pitch. Neither is Ferland Mendy, a left back with excellent pace and attacking ability. This crisis has forced Xabi Alonso to play younger players or shift players from their natural positions, which has clearly impacted the team's defensive stability during matches. According to a report from leading sports publication The Athletic, Real Madrid's recent poor form in La Liga has made Xabi Alonso's future a major topic of discussion within the club. The team has only managed 6 points from its last 5 domestic matches, a far from ideal result for a giant club fighting for the title. His success at Bayer Leverkusen appears to be slipping further away at the Santiago Bernabeu, and following the embarrassing defeat to Celta Vigo, club president Florentino Perez, general manager José Angel Sanchez, and other senior leaders are said to have immediately held in-depth internal discussions. The meeting is believed to have addressed the team's current critical situation and evaluated the manager's position, with questions being raised about whether Alonso remains fit to lead Los Blancos long-term. An internal source close to the club's management even admitted they were unsure whether Xabi Alonso would remain as manager if Real Madrid loses to Manchester City in the Champions League tomorrow, Thursday, December 11. While the club is eager to continue the project Alonso started this summer, they also recognize that results are paramount at a club as big as Los Blancos. The top brass are reportedly dissatisfied with the team's steadily declining performance and the club's image, which has been further tarnished by a string of unexpected defeats. Furthermore, concerns have arisen that the players have not yet developed a strong rapport with Alonso or fully understood and implemented his tactical ideas. If he is ultimately sacked, several contingency options have emerged, including Real Madrid Castilla youth coach Álvaro Arbeloa or club legend Zinedine Zidane. However, it remains unclear whether the French manager is interested in returning to Los Blancos for a third stint. Amidst the team's ongoing negative performance trend, Xabi Alonso issued a call to all members of the club to unite and maintain faith in the process he has established. Despite mounting pressure and the threat to his future, the 44-year-old coach maintained a firm and optimistic stance in the face of the situation. He emphasized that the season is still very long and there are still many matches left to play, both in La Liga and the Champions League. Real Madrid has always been able to recover from the worst conditions if everyone works collectively, from the players and staff to the fans, he said. This call was seen as his final attempt to unite the club and prove that he is still worthy of leading Los Blancos towards their goals. In an emotional press conference, Xabi Alonso emphasized the importance of solidarity amidst adversity. If we all stick together, realizing that this is football, where defeat and success are part of the game, we can definitely turn around this current unfavorable situation, he said in a firm yet hopeful tone. He went on to explain that the season is still very long and there are still many opportunities to improve. Performing poorly at home is painful, but it's a normal part of this sport. It's not an ideal situation, but we can't dwell on the past, we have to look forward and focus on the next game, he said. Alonso is also fully aware of the high standards demanded at Real Madrid. We know the self-criticism that comes with it and the very high level of expectations at this club. We realize that this defeat is very painful for everyone, especially the fans. But remember, this is everyone's responsibility, not just the players, not just the coaching staff, and not just the club. We must all be fully committed to doing everything right and approaching every game as if it were the most important in the world. In his closing remarks to the press, Xabi Alonso emphasized that while the loss to Celta Vigo was a valuable 3 points lost, it wouldn't be decisive for the team's entire season. Today, the 3 points dropped are important for our position in the standings, but they won't be the final word on everything we aspire to, he said. He added that there are still many games to play and challenges ahead. There's still a long way to go, both in La Liga and in the Champions League. Every step of the way will require hard work and teamwork, he said. With a tone of responsibility, Alonso emphasized, this isn't a burden that should fall on just one person, it's a responsibility and a job that must be shared by everyone at the club, without exception. That's all, and thank you for watching our video discussion this time. Don't forget to subscribe and like, guys. Thank you.